Welcome back to Smears Encounters.
So today, something a little bit different. We're going to talk about Collie. We don't really show much of it, you know, it's in the background, behind the scenes.
This is so daily. It's just, you know, Pam's daily. She's had the car since brand spanking new. It's had 2 accidents in 7 years. But we're going to talk about the last accident it had.
That this lovely man was driving while it occurred.
Always fun.
Yeah. So we got it back from repairs in late May last year. And
the crash happened in February. March.
I think it was February.
End of February. I had, if anyone's familiar with Brisbane and Logan area, I hit the Beenleigh North roundabout in the dry. The car didn't want to go around the corner. It was like, I was doing what, 30k? Like I'd literally stopped for a truck to go around the roundabout and I took off. Usual, you know, as I normally do. I used to drive that roundabout every damn day. Pam drove that roundabout every day. Lucky she wasn't in the car because obviously at that time last year we didn't know, but we were pregnant with little Miss. I think it was actually like a couple of days after we found out we were pregnant.
Yeah, so it would have been March.
Yeah, a couple of days after we found out we were pregnant, I crashed this. And today we're talking about don't trust your insurance. You know, the car was repaired by a smash repair in the Logan area. You know, we let them, you know, we'd ask them every couple of weeks how the car's going. You know, what's the timeline looking like?
No, we're not trying to rush them or anything, just keeping, you know, the communication open so we both had an idea what was going on with it.
This car was meant to leave 2 days ago to go back to a smash repairer. But it's not actually going to a smash repairer who fixed it. It's going to her insurance head office to be watched by the senior assessor. And to us, that seems like there's something badly wrong with the car. We're fairly sure the cab is twisted on it.
There's just, yeah, there's things that's not right, like it's...
The doors don't sit.
Both
the rear passenger's door, you have to pretty much slam it to get the shut properly. The rear drivers, you've just got to shut hard. Both front doors don't have gaps properly. So the body is nice till about here, and then it got a nice gap there, and that's shut. Even there, it's like there it's nice, there it's not.
Well, like this doesn't even line up here.
Yeah, the heights are out a little bit, the guards don't fit, the bonnet doesn't fit. You know, that's kind of final smash repair as far as I know. Like
if it was just the bull bar, I could probably forgive them.
Yeah.
If it was just this issue, I could possibly.
2 months after getting the car back, the bonnet was loose, so it ate out the guard. The guard gaps, like the bonnet on the guard gaps are wrong. The gaps there are wrong. But our main concern is, why is the body getting eaten away by the doors? Like that's into metal. That's not even shut properly. That's shut properly. And then, you know, your gaps again aren't right. I don't know how you can gap a door where the top sticks out but the bottom doesn't. Like I didn't know you could shim the door that way. Actually you can on the hinge. It's on the door side, but there's just a lot of stuff on the car that's not right. The big issue actually is, you know, it chews out the front wheels. The car's had, since we've gotten it back just over a year ago, the car's had 3 different wheel alignments by 3 different companies. The first one was by my mate in Bethania. And like literally we drove it about 5 minutes down the road, and
I said, hey, can I just bring this back and ask a few questions? He's like, yeah, bring it back, no worries. He came back, I told him, he's like, let's chuck it back up and have another look. And
it decides it wants to chop the passenger's wheel out, or an out, like you'll drive 10 k's down the road, it'll start pulling the other way and chopping out the driver's side wheel. Both front CVs piss out grease, which is just a CV thing, being IFS. Having 3 different alignments with all the weight, like the bull bar, which isn't heavy, they should be, everything, all the toe and camber and all that is adjusted properly. There's no way 3 different aligners can
make the same mistake.
do the exact same thing and screw it up. Like, all the machines are calibrated the same but different, so there's just a fair few things wrong with it. And the car was actually meant to leave 2 days ago, but here she sits next to the Cruiser and the little miss.
I'm just gonna grab that one off first.
What is it?
Gel packet.
Yeah, let her play off the bottle.
You can have the bottle.
Little Miss Adventurous over here.
As long as she doesn't wander over that way.
Yeah, like, you know, it's kind of hard to annoy your insurance, but if the car wasn't rebuilt properly, is it a death trap on the road? We don't know. Like, well,
that's the thing. It started as just little cosmetic things, but there's more mechanical issues with it as well. Like the driver's tire that shouldn't have any issues has a clunking when you're driving.
Yeah.
And it squeals, like the hub's not happy, and it's just like, that was all replaced. Why is it already 12 months later having such a big issue? And yeah, it's concerning, because I did stress, you know, like, is it going to be safe? Like, 'cause seeing the impact, like, airbags didn't go off, so it wasn't written off or anything, but I was just like, is it going to be safe for us, for the little one? Like,
as a family, you know.
As a family, is it going to be safe to drive? And
the car, you know, it's Pam's daily. So this is 1,000 kilometers a week or a fortnight.
Yeah.
You know, Pam does 5-week fortnight shifts, 5-day fortnight shift. So if you're not familiar with that shift work, kind of like prison or hospitality or hospitals, government work. You know, the cars, is it really that safe for us? You know, we've got a 9-month-old. Should we have her in the car, or is this thing gonna, next time we drive it, end up in a barrier because something lets go, or the insurance didn't fully do something, so a bolt's falling out of a control arm, or, you know, I've gone through it myself and checked if bolts are loose. The last time the car was aligned, I told them what I was doing, and they spent an hour and a half going through the car's whole front end, making sure everything was done up, and it's still doing it. This wheel's also decided to now start being like a squealing toddler and try and squeal over the radio. So the other thing, since we've got the car back, it clicks and clunks coming out of park, like when you touch the shifter, because you have to have your foot on the brake to pull out of park as an auto. It makes a clunking in the column and under the dash. Yeah, we hope to get the car back. I love
this car. It's economical, it's fun to drive, people stay out of your way.
Yeah, it's a full drive. It can take debris and stuff on the road if need be. You know, it is a full drive.
Well, it's also good for what we are, because when I do drive to work, it's dark, so you got that risk of kangaroos all the time. So
yeah, you know, I've
got a bit of safety.
And you got bright as fuck lights.
Yeah, nighttime's daytime.
Yeah, good old off-road animal lights. They're bloody mint. We're not sponsored for anything, so you know, I love the off-road animal lights. I'll be getting them for Pam's Cruiser. But there's just, you know, there's a lot of issues, a lot of cosmetic, but there's a fair few mechanical things that keep popping up. Like we've had a random engine light come on.
Delightful.
We don't even know what that was for, because we went to turn the car back on to get a photo of it and it was gone. yeah, it's a tow rig when we need it. You know, it towed the 60 to Clex last year because I'd sold my ute, and my ute used to be the hauler. You know, the ute was built for that, but I sold it. So the collie, you know, the collies, I can't drive the cruiser at the moment because I think I've actually fixed its issue. So it will probably start getting driven.
For once, the collie's faster than something.
Yours is turbo.
So, yours is slow. Instant bus.
It's a 105, who cares? If you're in the market for a 105, hit us up. You having fun with a bottle? Yeah, just, you know.
When you're stuck in that gut feeling, because I do drive to work, all I get that gut feeling something bad's going to happen, you know you've got to chase it up and just get onto them, because if you ignore it and something bad happens, who knows if I'm coming home.
Yeah.
Like,
you know.
or if we're taking her somewhere, it's just that risk you don't need.
Yeah.
So.
You know, the car, it drives perfect 90% of the time. And then you get that 10% where the front end wants to do its own little thing, and it'll start pulling one way or the other. Like it'll start pulling, you know, when you're on the Warrego and you're in the right lane, it'll pull left up over the crest of the road, which a car shouldn't unless its alignment's really, really bad. Or it'll be fine. Or, you know, it's just...
Or it just has that random tug when you're not expecting. Like, it's not a pothole, you're in the smoothest road and it's randomly just whoop.
The steering wheel just, yeah, moves us that little bit. So there's something wrong inside the car. Like, I've gone through it, but I can't find it.
Being something you're not familiar with too, like you're used to the old cruisers. This is all electronic, so who knows if it's something simple like that, or
yeah, you know,
it's just, we're keen to find out what's actually wrong with it, and fingers crossed we get it back.
Yeah, we had the senior assessor come all the way from Brisbane. Like, he drove 2 hours to come here to look at the car, and his first response was, it's fucked. Like, he literally stood about here and looked at it, and about 2 seconds later he's like, yeah, it's fucked, it's going back.
He's like, the more I look at it, the more I hate it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
So it makes us think, you know, was it repaired properly? Should it have been repaired, or should it have been written off? Because they all come into it of, depending on how much it costs to repair, it could be deemed a write-off. Even though airbags don't go off, it could be expense-wise a write-off.
It also depends on like the way the chassis was. It might have tweaked the passenger side more than the driver's side, even though it's a driver's side impact. They may not have checked for
Yeah, on the impact, because it destroyed the CV on the driver's side, did it crack the front diff case? It occasionally has a random little drip of oil, and it's not the motor or the gearbox, it's gear oil. And it doesn't come out of CVs because it's next to the motor, so it's like... It's all about you, isn't it? All about you. Yeah. You know, it's for her safety. We don't want to be driving a car that is a possible death trap.
I mean, we have a better chance of recovering or surviving an accident, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah. Even in the front seat, like her in the back seat in a child safe seat, she can still be severely badly injured, if not killed, even on a front end impact. Or, you know, we've got to, it's her safety. We don't care about us.
We care about us, but she's our priority. So
Yeah, Pam's my priority, and my daughter's my priority. And if the car's not safe, I don't want the bloody car. Yeah. You know, it's a great car, but if it's not safe and it shouldn't have been repaired, well, why have we spent another year paying insurance and all this? You know, are they going to refund all that?
Oh, that'd be nice.
To when the car should have been written off by the previous repairer? Was the previous repairer in the wrong for doing stuff? Have they dodged stuff up?
Or could it just be a random
fluke?
repaired? Like,
or could it just be some
dodgy
random?
Like,
yeah.
But you know, when we find out whatever's wrong, we'll bring you guys along and let you know what's happening with it.
Hopefully the car gets picked up today.
Yeah, if
it's the next day. That's not a Colorado. So we actually got a brand spanking new hire car. All at the dime of the insurance. So it's actually pretty schmicko, this beauty. So obviously we don't lock our cars like. Certainly not going to lock a hire car's got nothing in it. But this thing's great. How is that? Alright. Just under 6,000 Ks on it. So it's been used once or twice. But still a brand spanking new hire car. Took a bit to get used to actually. We had to go pick it up. So we ended up caught and bugging the crap out of the assessor. Because, you know, 4 days in a row the truck never rocked up. So it was like, where is your yard? We just bring the car to you guys and get the hire car. Otherwise the truck would have picked up the Colorado and I would have had to either driven this with Pam or get her family to drive her to where the hire car was. So we end up taking the collie into the city. We end up driving this spanker home, and woo, I think Pam's got a new car. So if they write the collie off, what do you want?
Look, we were talking about
Beamers.
But this is a pretty nice car.
It's comfy too.
And okay, look, it's kind of sad, but my favorite feature so far is wireless charging.
It's kind of, yeah, I haven't really done a lot. We've just driven the car an hour home, and then we went to get dinner last night. But this goes to show, sometimes, yeah, it kicks the shits if the key is on the outside of the car. The only issue, keyless entry, keyless start. You get out of the car, key in your pocket, and go to the bottle to get a hot carton. The car kicks the shits and wakes up your daughter. So don't forget, like and subscribe. We will catch you on the next one.